Right, so Rushmore, Jason Schwartzman from Scott Pilgrim, and Funny People, and many other things. And, again, fantastic performance from Jason Schwartzman. He clearly is very, very talented. Even in a movie like Scott Pilgrim, which I didn't care for at all, he was having the best time and saying those lines so brilliantly that there are bits of that film, that good, and it's not to my liking, but he's great, and he's still great, and I really like him, and it's like you discover something new, and I did like him originally, but because I watched so many films, I think it's hard to sort of grasp one actor sometimes. Usually I sort of go for one actor I sort of know and watched a lot of stuff of, and I carry on watching now, or I watch new films, or I discover somebody else, and he's somebody I've taken a while to actually buy some of his movies, but I really like him. I think this film is really, really funny. I think it's very quirky. I think it's got a very Wes Anderson quality about it, which makes it a film that people want to see. I think it's also interesting in that he sort of imagines himself as a great student, and he's not really that great student that he makes him out to be. He makes himself out to be, and that's funny in its own right. And you can kind of tell where it's going to go, and even as the film went on, I could sort of tell, oh, that's going to happen, and that's going to happen, and this is going to happen. But after watching so many films, I think you can kind of guess that for yourself. But that's not criticism at all. But I think the film's brilliant. I think Wes Anderson has struck a home run again, and a fantastic Mr. Fox. I really enjoyed. Moonrise Kingdom, okay, it was likable, and there were some funny things in it, but it wasn't my kind of movie. Still, I don't mind it, but I don't think it's the best Wes Anderson movie. So, yeah, so we have that, and this is obviously Rushmore. I really like this film. I think it's got lots to like about it. I think the fantastic performance from Bill Murray, who's always great, and he's never bad. And there's a bit appearance from a Brit actress who I think was in 102 Dalmatians, I think, and I don't really know who she is, but she was good. And the film very much plays in a very quirky way. I mean, smile throughout it, you laugh at some things, and throughout it, it has this tone about he invokes this whole thing of, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to, and not really caring that he's not the greatest student. I just thought it was just hilarious. And what's his name? Brian Cox is very good in his little role he has in it. I wouldn't say he has a massive role. I mean, you don't see him as much because I think really it's Jason Schwartzman's film. Really, he is the master in the acting department. And I also love the fact that all these little plays you get to see, and I think that's really cool. And it's funny even to see like movies I haven't even seen, but he touches on it so funny and brilliantly that I can tell exactly what's going on and what they're making fun of. And to do that for an outsider, I think is really good, and especially Serpico. I mean, I haven't even seen Serpico. I do like Al Pacino a lot, but I haven't seen that movie yet. But and they also do some sort of Vietnam War sort of spoof kind of comedic play, and I thought that was brilliant. I love the bit at the end where at the end of the play he's sort of there in the like gorilla makeup, all the stuff and the marks and everything, and then he gets obviously approached by this girl who has a gun, and she's like, "You want to marry me?" For sure, and it just like brilliant. And clearly, it's somebody who loves making movies, and I think that's great to see. And he's a very different filmmaker in that he doesn't. I don't think there's anybody out there who does movies like Wes Anderson. He is the only person who does these quirky films. I mean, there are quirky films out there, but not the way he does them and puts so much stuff in there. I just think it's very different and very refreshing. You feel like it's not been repeated or done by somebody and he's copying something. And obviously, sometimes it's fine. You can sort of copy in a certain way, but obviously make it your own way, like Tarantino. But um, I just think his imagination's great, and I really look forward to seeing his other films I haven't seen yet. I did order a movie of his on Amazon today. I really look forward to seeing what that turns out to be like. But yeah, I mean, it's a great film and really fun. It's got a feel good factor in it, and it's not depressing like Happiness, which Jesus Christ, I don't think I've seen a depressing such a depressing film in my entire life. And tell you, boy, I've seen some depressing films in my life, and be like bring you down. You feel back up again after it's over. You're like, oh, back to my life now. Anyway, so I'm going off on tangents. So very good film. I really enjoyed it. I think you'll love it too, and it's great.